All right. Audacity is using your microphone.
I updated my Microsoft Windows 95, so if we have issues, that will probably, in all likelihood, be the reason why.
Oh, boy. Yeah, man. Once again, my friend, you guys are live right now on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Track Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
Yes, indeed. You like that energy?
No,
I got the energy.
Ready. We are ready to go, man. I got a cup of water here. You know what I mean?
I was literally like, yesterday I was like, let me get up early and let me go work out in the 96-degree weather in the yard today, so that tomorrow, by the time we record the podcast, I am not falling asleep while sitting down.
Fair enough. Yeah. I went to the beach today, so I'm not going to make any promises.
Man, you know what? You are living your best life. And that's all anyone can ask from you.
Some would say.
Which beach?
Oh, we was out by Fanway. We was at Huntington.
Oh, well, all right. Take back what I said.
We saw dolphins and all sorts of stuff out there, though. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they got the mess cleaned up.
I guess so.
All right, good.
I didn't know there was a mess to begin with, but anyway.
Yep. What are we talking about today, man?
Quite a few things, but let's set it off with by the time y'all hear this podcast, Serena Williams has lost. Man.
Yeah.
Last black woman standing. Kev, opening question.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch any of the U.S. Open at all? And is it fair to say that you only rooted for Naomi Osaka?
You know what? In the world we live in, it is completely fair for you to assume that. Interestingly, as you, I'm sure, assumed, because clearly you jumped to conclusions. That was the only match I watched so far was the Osaka.
Yep.
Golf. Is it golf? Golf. Coco.
Yep.
That match, which was good Lord, you feel like a tennis match is going to bring you to tears. Like, come on, man, I'm not ready for this, man.
I'll tell you this
Good
much.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I knew that I was right about that. I knew you only watched the half Japanese girl. So let's go on and get on the other side, y'all. Peace.
Yo, what up? This is Romeo, and you're listening to Rap Sucks Radio.
Wait, is Nishikori still playing?
I don't think so.
Nishikori? I don't think so. Can I get a Michael Chang?
Okay. Here we go. What up, y'all? You are live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Track Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
Hi, arigato.
And real quick, wherever you're listening from, wherever you're tuning in from, whatever platform you are listening from, we appreciate each and every one of y'all. We ask y'all to like, comment, subscribe, discuss, get down with us. And you can also catch us on RSR Podcast on Facebook. That is RSR Podcast on Facebook. Kev, you wanted to, in light of the opening question.
Actually,
what's up?
I wanted. Go ahead.
In light of the opening question, you wanted to name what the last 3 remaining Asian tennis players, or was that
alive
in the U.S. remaining in the U.S. Open? Kev.
Oh, I could. I literally was naming the only ones that I could name. And the crazy thing is that actually, since I met Wifey, I've paid much more attention to the U.S. Open in particular than I probably ever had in the past. And I've actually been there, which is it's a nice highbrow experience.
You know what? I want to go. I want to take take my daughters one day. That's actually a bucket.
Yeah,
list
you
item for me.
you don't have to worry about fans running into light poles and
Oh well, yeah. I'd imagine
you
that's
know
not gonna happen.
climbing light poles and getting in fights and stuff like that. Well, you know, who knows?
I mean,
Who knows what's going to happen?
who knows?
You know, a lot of comments this year. A lot of comments, a lot of sideways talk.
Yeah, there was, yeah. There's a little bit. There's a little bit of extra discussion this year.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I had no intent in doing that. What I did want to say is that this, I believe, is episode 25.
This is episode quarter. Yep.
Yeah, that puts us roughly 22 and a half episodes beyond what either one of us could have ever imagined.
Fair enough. That's actually true, y'all. That's actually really true. Yeah. So yeah, we are on a roll, man, officially. So let's go ahead and get rid of our entire fan base with this next Out Here Trippin'.
You think so?
Well, we'll see.
Hey, listen, man, if you're offended by this, go sign with the Patriots.
Go sign with I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it.
We don't need to.
I had to do that all day. I'm not doing it anymore. LeBron James is out here tripping.
King Tuesday.
But before, the fact that you called him King Taco.
I did not call him King that would have actually been pretty good too.
But
I called him King Tuesday.
I was gonna give you props and you didn't want to take
King Taco would have been a undue honor bestowed upon
you got it
His Royal Majesty.
the attempt. King Taco is what we're gonna call LeBron James. So why is he tripping? Well, for some of y'all who don't know, a LeBron James owned company, LBJ Trademarks, filed a trademark application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for the term Taco Tuesday. For those of you guys who do not know, LeBron James does play for the Los Angeles Lakers, and since he's been here, he's been pretty into tacos. Now, he hasn't had it. He has a chef. So I don't want to disparage the type of tacos he's been eating, but I know he ain't ate the tacos that I ate and I've eaten, being an Angelino, that's for sure. But you know, his enthusiasm for Taco Tuesday is actually, you know, it's endearing. But this is a little bit much.
Yeah. Shout out to the dude, by the way. I think it was a dude, and I don't remember who it was, but definitely wasn't either one of us who wanted to shout out the taco meat on his head.
That's so cold-blooded.
Great comment. Great, solid comment.
Fair amount of shade deserved for this one. I would like to, first of all, say that, man, LeBron James is off the court he's a flawless dude. You know what I'm saying? On the court, he's near flawless, but off the court, the dude is brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And this is a small blemish. That being said, the trademark aims to include advertising and marketing services provided by means of indirect methods of marketing communications, namely social media, search engine marketing, inquiry marketing, mobile marketing, blogging, and other forms of passive, shareable, and viral communication channels. So basically, he wants to use Taco Tuesday to go on and enhance the LeBron James brand. Big homie Bron. Nah. Just no. You know what I mean? Let's not do this.
It's the wrong. It sets the wrong tone, Ron. It sets the wrong tone. I mean, the first thing I thought of, I was like, let me do a little bit of extra research because I wanted to see if someone owned, if like some, you know, a player on the Clippers owned, or UNLV player owned What Happens in Vegas. And you know who owns that?
Who?
What Happens in Vegas? Vegas!
Vegas owns What Happens in Vegas. Nice. The city of Vegas.
But then it got more interesting.
Okay.
I looked up, does anyone own Bros Before Hoes?
This is great. Okay.
And the answer is, to the best of my 30 seconds of research knowledge, no one does.
No one.
However,
okay.
However, in this week's women's empowerment news, a company called SMKG Online has trademarked hose before bros.
All right. Well, since this is mildly a area that I do know something about, I will say that I don't believe that he will get Taco Tuesday because I believe that it's derivative. It's common law use. There's all sorts of reasons why he won't get it. Like you can't trademark the word like the. You know what I'm saying? It's derivative. People use it regularly in conversation. But now that we're on this subject, this is not the worst thing that anyone's ever done. I would say the worst trademark as of recent was probably the dude in Chicago, Jewish man, who trademarked Aloha Poke and then levied that trademark on every poke place in the United States that he could levy it on, including.
So that's
Hawaiian
what I'm wondering.
owned.
So once you have the trademark, if you use that in any form or fashion, you are subject to potential legal action.
Well, it's class, right? So you're trademarking classes. So like one class is T-shirts, the other class is like podcast and radio. The other class,
I would contend that there's no class involved in this entire situation. But go ahead.
So, being that, for example, Aloha Poke was like restaurants, poke restaurants. So anything with Aloha and Poke in it, he was able to trademark, except for in Hawaii, because Hawaiian is an accepted language in the state of Hawaii, and you cannot trademark something, a derivative word in a language. So Aloha would be derivative.
Oh.
So yeah.
So, and also like okay. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty trash.
So that's what I was wondering. So this would be if he was super gangster, what he would do is successfully trademark Taco Tuesday and then only enforce it against the colonial gentrifiers in downtown LA who tried to sell me a taco for $12.
Yeah.
I the thing is that when I moved away, when I came back, the thing is that when I would visit, I wouldn't just go out as much because I was a little bit older than I was when I was running the streets, and it was like I had people to see, I had things to do, and I didn't come back that much.
Right.
So I didn't really experience downtown LA until I moved back.
Oh yeah.
And I still haven't been that much. But literally, man, I went to an event, and it was a dope event, positive cause. But I'm walking around, and it was the arts district, and I'm like, I'm hungry. It's the middle of the day. I'm hungry.
Right.
And I see a couple coffee shops. It's like, all right, I get it, whatever, And in a couple high end restaurants, I was like, that's not where my head's at. But then I see a little sign that says tacos, which right away should have been a flashing red light, because since when has a taco place that was worth anything had to advertise in any kind of way possible? If anything, you're trying to fly under the radar because, come on, we know what's going on.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, I walked this long block down to get these tacos. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yep.
It's like $12 for I was like, are you serious?
Yes, they are dead serious. So you know what? And I agree with you. If he levied the name up against all gentrifying colonial tacos, then yes. Like Taco Bell gets shut down for trying to use it. I'm all for it. But I just highly doubt that. But you know what? He has been.
I want to know. What?
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that didn't Taco Bell win haven't they won the best Mexican food in America or something like that awards? Which that's big taco. That's all that is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's
so anyone who's never been here, who doesn't know, the real deal is like, come on.
Yeah. I don't even understand how that happened. Like, how did you win the best taco? And I mean, I know how it happened, but I mean, I don't know. That's just blatant ridiculousness.
Was it best taco or best Mexican food? That would be even worse. Jeez, good Lord.
Yeah, you guys are doing too much. He has been challenged, by the way. King Taco has been challenged.
By King Taco?
No. By the owner of a Mexican grill. I believe it's called Taco Tuesday. in Wyoming. It's in Wooddale, Wyoming. And fearing it will be barred from using its own name in internet marketing, the restaurant Taco Tuesday Inc. is asking the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to reject the trademark application filed by LBJ. The owner says, in quote, presumably the owner of the applicant company enjoys eating tacos. The owner's name is Cliff Holmes, by the way. It says he said also tens of millions of Americans enjoy eating tacos. The quality of being a person who enjoys eating tacos and posting to social media about one's experience in eating tacos does not give rise to a cognizable claim to trademark ownership. That's actually from his lawyer, by the way. So, yeah, there's going to be a bit of a battle here. I don't think the trademark office is going to give it to him. And being that I am in my own beginning legal battle for the name Trek Life, this actually kind of struck a chord.
Cliff Holmes is going hard in the paint.
Cliff Holmes with the legal language. You know what I'm saying? With the legal language. Cognizable claim. You know what I'm saying?
That's you don't know, you should know.
You should know.
That's what that means.
And you guys have to really note this stuff real quick, because here on Rap Sucks Radio, we attempt to at least try to drop a few jewels occasionally, right? So,
not really.
Okay, we don't. But in this case, I will drop a jewel for y'all.
All right. Drop a gem on them.
So occasionally somebody will get their trademark stolen. You'll get your name or your artwork or whatever that is connected to you and you've been using for quite a while stolen. And the first thing somebody will tell you is, well, you should have trademarked it. And I'm here to tell you that where that is correct, that is not the end of the conversation. Kev, indulge me a few moments here. If you have not trademarked something and it is stolen, right? If you have used it, then you have the right to common law. All you have to do is show proof that you have been using said name or artwork or what have you, logo typically, for years prior to the person who claims to own the trademark. Let's say that company is Taco Bell, right? At that point, you would challenge it through the trademark office, and Taco Bell would have to basically rebuttal to the challenge, and now you are in a fight. Now, what large companies try to do is try to basically bankrupt you, try to drag you through court, etc., and that's where it gets dirty. But you are not dead in the water. Just know, if you don't have a trademark right now and somebody has stolen your art or your logo or your name or something like that, it's not over. You just have to prove you were using it before, because trademarks are not first to file. They are first to use. So this is also not legal advice, but, look it up for yourself.
Yeah, nothing having anything directly or peripherally to do with this podcast or either one of us can be taken in any way as anything that makes any kind of sense, legally or otherwise.
That's the disclaimer. But you are not dead in the water, just so you guys know. I got a lot of questions last week, and I'm like, oh, I know it, I understand, but you're not dead in the water, by the way. So.
And I see how you laid out these topics because you wanted your segues to be smooth.
Well, I tried to be real fresh about this trademark conversation, because I was like, oh yeah, I kind of know something about this.
I see you, man. Do you think, young man?
For other trademark things, if you guys want to look it up, Danny Fuentes versus Lauren Moshi over the LA kind of safety pin logo thing. And this is not a trademark issue, but Ariana Grande is up against Forever 21. She's trying to sue them for $10 million for using her likeness through a model and kind of similar wording to songs that she has copyright for. So these things are out there, man. LeBron James ain't the only one.
Are we going to get into these things?
We can. We certainly can.
Because this is nothing new, right? No. This is just something that now we have journalists who are willing to write about. Like, what was it? LAmag.com wrote about the Lauren Moshi thing.
Yep.
And the LA safety pins, which was also mentioned her use of Steve-O's LA hands.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, the
Yep.
iconic photograph.
Yep.
You know, and I think she threw an extra ring on the one of the hands or something like that. That's the only thing I could notice that was slightly different. And they settled that case. So hopefully he got paid a little bit of, he got a little bit out of that. But I mean, yeah, this woman is, I mean, she's like the Donald Trump of fashion, as far as I could tell. Like her and her brother got some money from daddy to start a business. The business failed. And then she's like, oh, you know what I can do? I can steal things.
And isn't this a thing though? When you look at it, she sells her stuff uptown, Robertson Drive, like, Robertson Boulevard or whatever.
Yeah.
Because she knows that the people from up there don't drive down to the city, so all this stuff is brand fresh and new to them. Like, oh wow, that's so cool, LA stuff.
But that's But that's the thing that's the thing that I'm hoping that social media and is starting to sort of democratize some of the just awareness at least. It still doesn't. It's still a far cry from appreciation and understanding and all that. But I mean, good Lord. Yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly what it is. But look at Robertson now and Fairfax and all, it's like, if she never got sued, all it would be ripoffs,
Yep.
Like, do you really want that?
That's yeah.
Because people talk, it's like when you get the counterfeit goods, that's what that is,
Yeah.
It's like you go to her store and you see her Comply line. Comply featuring Andre the Mid-Sized Human. Or her Nike all red and white capsule collection. It's her urban line.
I'm saying
it's appropriately. It's called Superior.
Yeah, Superior. You're so stupid. But you know what, man? Like, and I said this in a little bit of an upset rant on my Instagram. Like, a lot of people like to claim that they're tastemakers, and hip hop is full of this. You know what I'm saying? And this is Rap Sucks Radio, and where we could argue over the, semantics of whether these current songs are good or whatever. That's your opinion. But I will say, what does suck about hip hop, what does suck about rap, is a lot of you biters get called tastemakers. You know what I'm saying? And really, you're just from areas where it hadn't the music hadn't reached yet, and you've gotten the chance to be the presenter of it and act like you owned it, but you never really owned it. Like, it wasn't you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now here we are. Now, I wouldn't say all over again. Trademark infringement has been going on for years, and I kind of feel like, in a roundabout way, IP law actually supports the thief more than it supports the creator. But that's a long-winded argument I won't put y'all through. But I just want to reiterate, you're not a tastemaker because you got a shop in Beverly Hills and you drive up. It's still rodeo to me, by the way. It's not rodeo. Drive up rodeo to Obama Street and then start looking around, stealing from the people down the block. Like, that's not fresh. You roll into East LA, or you roll into whatever area. You copy a little place in Los Feliz for the first time, and you walk around seeing things that are fresh, and you want to take them because you got daddy's money. Like, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not fresh. You trash, yo. You trash.
Yeah, but when but there's a significant portion of the population who will think that the revolutionary, visionary creator who came up with these beautiful styles that incorporate South American or African patterns in designs started on Rodeo, not Rodeo, or Fifth Avenue,
right?
In Manhattan, not Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn,
right? I mean, there's going to be just way too many people who believe that, and I don't know, man. It's a whole thing to me, but this is going to be ongoing, man. And again, review this stuff if you get your stuff taken, because the fight's not over, and it might be a little longer than you preferred. It's not something that happens in a matter of weeks normally. Normally, you don't send a cease and desist, and they say, "Oh, okay, here's $10 million." Like, that doesn't work. But you can't fight for your intellectual property, and and it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth the fight. Yeah. That's a pretty dry conclusion to that. Let's get on to the next thing. And before I get on to the next one, before I introduce the subject, is this next subject something that we can somehow blame Dave Chappelle for?
I am sure as hell willing to try.
All right. Well, the founder of one of the nation's largest conversion therapy programs, converting people from gay to straight, who spent decades leading the organization, converting people from gay to straight, allegedly, right? Now says, Kev,
right,
that he himself is gay.
Yes.
And he's apologizing for his role in the practice.
Yeah. I'm sure his first few Grindr dates were rough.
That is really awful wording.
Tough.
I mean,
difficult.
This is a source by The Hill. He also the organization is Hope
The Hill.
for Wholeness.
The Hill, by the way.
Yeah,
thehill.com.
Thehill.com.
The Hill.
Yes.
Not Power WBLK radio. Thehill.com was the source for this, okay?
Right. We didn't get this out of nowhere. The Hope for Wellness is the name of the organization in South Carolina, and the man's name is McCrae Game. And Mr. Game, for quite a while has pretended that we're fought or held back the whatever urge to let folks know that he's truly gay. And so instead, he decided to build one of the largest conversion therapy programs in the nation, Kev. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somewhere there's like an X-Men episode that explains this, like, like, you know what I'm saying? It explains this in like comic book mutant wording, but
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he's apologized, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Did people get a refund?
Right? He should refund everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Shoot. This is the thing that I mean, listen, gay, unbiased Kev, gay or straight, McCrae Game is a super dope name.
McCrae Game.
And to make matters worse for this dude, in damn near this in the same week, I think, in damn near the same news cycle, he lost the super dope name battle to this wide receiver from Louisiana, high school kid.
Oh yeah, Dakotas.
To ever do it.
Oh God. The coldest to ever do it is he wild.
The coldest to ever do it. Do you think that if he goes on to play at a higher level, are they gonna refer to him as Crawford?
Heck
in the play-by-play?
No way.
Heck no.
No way. The coldest to the end zone. You know what I'm saying? The coldest to the 50. The coldest to the 40. The coldest to the 30. It's gonna be the freshest commentaries. I need him to make the NFL.
Oh man, yeah. He just, I don't know what's up with your boy McCrae Game.
But in light of all of this, Dave Chappelle has been called out for his special, which I found not a single problem with whatsoever. And it does not seem so far off brand or even slightly off brand from any other special he's done. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it.
I went on a more of a diatribe than I would otherwise hope to go on that because it was, that's the thing about most of the topics we deal with is that the ones that there are certain ones that are literally at the top of everybody's list for at least a few days where that's all anyone's talking about.
Right.
And I was late to the party with the Dave thing because I had other stuff to do and I watched it finally. And the thing that killed me, I was like, Jim Gaffigan's fans don't talk about him like this. All the Gaffa heads, they don't turn on him when he doesn't talk about being fat or whatever. Or it's like, good Lord, man! Like, and all of a sudden, the thing that bothered me was not. It's like, if you're offended, I get it, but why are you a comedian all of a sudden?
Well, yeah. People questioning the quality of the spell. But this is what people do. And it doesn't bother me so much that people are always soapboxing. It actually doesn't bother me, man. I actually feel like social media is like a really good thing. I just, I feel like people shouldn't keep all this bottled up. Just express your opinion. Who does it hurt? You know what I'm saying? But
this is the thing. It's like, think about how you would feel if you were watching a football game. And you decided that you wanted to tell the coaches and the players what they should have been to. Oh, wait, you already do that too. Never mind.
Yep.
Never mind.
Because all of a sudden, right? Like, and that's the thing that gets me. Like, if don't see, you're gonna start me on sports. I'm not gonna do this for life. Listen, you are 5'5" and your kneecaps are fat. There is no way you were going to be able to tell an athlete what he should be doing and why he should be doing it and how he should feel about doing it. Just stop now. Stop it. Okay? It's over for you. It was over for you in 8th grade when you realized that you're probably a little better at English and reading than you are at any athletic activity. Just fine. You made it through high school.
And realize,
just knock it off.
Realize that regardless of whether you were watching Dave Chappelle or whether you were watching LeBron James or whether you were watching anybody else, Serena Williams on TV, you don't have to break serve. You do not have to drive the lane. You don't have to roll the pick. You do not have to stand up and compose an hour of carefully crafted comedic material. If you don't like it, all you have to do is press that little button on the thing that you're holding in your hand while you're sitting on your couch eating the potato chips.
Turn it off. Just turn it off. I just don't get it. Particularly with comedy, right? The reality is this. I have certainly been listening to comedians, just, kind of going through Netflix or whatever, even prior to Netflix. Heard something that I don't particularly like, a subject that it kind of triggers me, and I've just been like, this is probably funny to somebody, but it's not funny to me, and I'm done.
Right.
But I understand what it is, though. I know what this is. I know what it is. I know what platform I'm listening to. I understand what's going on. I just turn it off. Like, all right, I'm on to the next one. Like, this ain't my favorite comedian. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be, and I understand that it works both ways. But there has to be a place where you can just say what's on your where we can just talk, where we can just openly say whatever we want to say. There has to be a platform. But you know what I'm saying?
But Trek, there's too much. There's not enough stand-up comedy on Netflix.
Right. Right? The fact that Netflix Trek, is basically like Comedy Central now.
There's too much black stand-up comedy on Netflix. Shut up.
Right? Yes. Have a funny conservative comedian and then we'll talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know, and it was unfair because I name checked Jim Gaffigan, who literally probably has never offended anybody. It's literally like, he's pretty funny. Why doesn't he curse? Everybody curses. What are you doing?
But yeah, man, it's the oddest conversation. And you have the real issues like the McRae games out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That truly have real damaging issues towards the LGBTQ community. A comedian is not your problem. Matter of fact, here's the best part about it. I thought the most important joke that he told, without spoiling the special for those who didn't see it, was the one that he talked about.
Well, it sounds like you're about to spoil.
No. I'm not gonna. He talked about having to go to the censorship person for the Chappelle show, and the one word that he couldn't say versus the one word that he could say with impunity. I thought that defined the issues that people have with the special. You were okay with him saying this one word and having this one line of comedy for his whole career. But the one time he goes the other direction, all of a sudden you're upset. Well, so yeah, I mean, that should probably build some more intrigue for those who didn't watch it or haven't watched it yet. But yeah, man, I was done with it.
Go.
You got to watch this.
Go get offended.
Yeah,
go be offended.
Go be offended. It is absolutely hilarious. Speaking of absolutely hilarious,
wait till you see Cat Williams on Disney Plus after you cancel your Netflix subscription.
I don't even want to start on Cat Williams on Disney Plus with better hair than all of the Disney princesses. But
Pixar hair brought to you by Pixar.
Yo, man. Is this a damn nature or not? I'm gonna call it a damn nature, but I titled it Damn Nature, Nah You Stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the damn nature is not directed at things other than humans. It's clearly directed at our own position in nature.
Yeah.
As humans.
Right. This might be the You Stupid Award. You stupid. Mm-hmm. A Washington woman hoping an octopus on the face would make for a prize photo instead wound up with something she never expected: a face full of pain and a trip to the hospital. Wow. Reported on Fox News. Now, something I don't normally like to do, and I know there's probably not a radio show in the world that likes to do this, or a podcast in the world that likes to do it, but I am going to try to read you guys this entire article because the article is interesting. And I know this might be where you tune out, but please allow me to romper room read this article. All right. A 45-year-old woman of Fox Island on a Wednesday recalled asking the men of a juvenile Pacific for the juvenile Pacific octopus they'd snagged, saying, "I'd like to eat it for dinner." Jamie of Fox Island, Washington, was sent to the hospital after posing for a photo with an octopus on her face last Friday. She had also asked the men to take the photo of her with the sea creature, right? Intending to enter the snap in the Derby's photography contest. She said, in quote, "It's soft, it's squishy, it doesn't feel like it can hurt you. I put it on my face." Mm-hmm. Now let's stop right there. Hold on, Kev. Mm-hmm. They were in a fishing derby, by the way. So a woman in a fishing derby asked another group of people in a fishing derby for something that they caught so that she can eat it for dinner. Go catch it yourself. That's where we're at. That's where we're at right now.
Well, the fishing derby community is very generous.
Generous community, right? Catch of the day.
Evidently.
The catch of the day versus the I didn't catch it today. All right. So here's what she says. And at first it wasn't so bad. The tentacles were squirming in my ear, my nose. It was just playing with me on the face, she said. Right? And then all of a sudden...
But then it got excited.
Wait, then it got... We used to do this jokes, I know. Like somebody would get beat up and we'd be like, oh, and then it got real. So... And then it got real. And all of a sudden, its beak entered my chin, Jamie says. And my eyes popped open wide. And they could all see that I was getting attacked. And the photos are taken at the moment it was attacking me.
Then when the laughing subsided...
The sensation was vivid and unforgettable. "Oh my gosh," she said. "When it bites you, it feels like it's barbed, and if I pull it out, it's going to take out my flesh."
That's not what she said. That's not what she said. Jamie has been on this earth for 45 years. "Oh my gosh" is absolutely not what she said.
This is the most kid-friendly octopus biting of the face that you will ever see. This is the Pixar version. This is the Disney version of it. All right. She pulled the thing off her face and the octopus off her face, and she said the pain was intense and the bleeding lasted half an hour. All right, let's stop here, Kev. Go ahead, take it away. Anything you got to say about it, go.
No, nothing. This is one thing I will say is that you put a stress on the name Jamie, but I'm pretty. I don't want to jump to conclusions on why you did that, but as much as we may want to racialize this, I'm pretty damn sure that I saw an Asian girl doing this the week before I saw this story.
Hey, I didn't racialize. Matter of fact, shout out to Traumatics.
So I'm gonna recuse myself from that part of the conversation.
Well, listen, I will not. There's no way to racialize stupidity at this point. We've seen quite a bit of this from all of us. So this is where we all sort of unify as an actual group of people that say, hey,
we are idiots.
Yeah, we're pretty much idiots. Okay. She didn't go to the hospital for 2 days, Kev. Determined to finish the 2 back-to-back fishing derbies first, even though she couldn't catch her own octopus. Between derbies, she even went to a friend's house and cooked the octopus for dinner and enjoyed a beautiful meal that was delicious, in quotes for her. I got a little revenge. But vengeance is mine, says the octopus.
Go on, Jamie.
Go ahead. Vengeance is mine, says the octopus. The next day, she competed in the second derby. Obviously, she didn't catch her own stuff because that's not what she does. But when she woke up after, she realized she had to see a doctor immediately. In quotes, Jamie says, I could tell I couldn't swallow properly. And I could tell when I opened my eyes, it was kind of blurry. The left side of my face, my throat, my glands were swollen, and it felt like the left side of my face was paralyzed. Days later, she said she's still hurting, and her throat remains swollen. She has a rash on her chin to show for her bid to grab a memorable photo. That is the end of the story.
What's the moral?
Yeah.
What's the moral, Trek?
Jamie is stupid. There's no moral to this. Nobody else is going to do this. The moral is the octopus always wins.
If your boy McCrae Game, McCrae the coldest to ever do it game, really wants to make it up to society, he would start a conversion therapy for stupid people. Wouldn't that be something?
He could certainly start with Jamie here. Listen, dude. I want to go back to the fact that she didn't catch this on her own in a fishing derby, though.
You really are stuck on that.
I am really stuck on that. Like, it is not. I've been out to quite a few, party boat, sea fishing trips off Long Beach. I've caught, link-eyed and yellowtail on my own, learning how to fish on my own. I've never turned to another person who's caught something. I just feel like it's probably a taboo thing to turn to, like, oh man, you caught that? Can I have that? It's like, dude, no.
That's sexist.
Right, it's Dave Chappelle special all over again.
What? You wanna hold it? You wanna hold it up and act like you caught it? I want to put it on my face.
Yo, Ray, I can't feel my face, son.
Cocaine shrimp in stores now.
I would say the octopus won that. Shout out to the octopus, man, for winning that. That was dope.
Yeah.
So
mollusk life.
Go out like a soldier, they say. Yeah, Jamie, you got to shut it down. This.
You know what he said?
What's that?
When he was beak deep in her. Hey, eat me. Thank you very much.
Oh man. Okay. All right. All right. So this right here is not nerd news. So I'm not going to put the echo or reverb on it, but I am going to shout it out.
Okay.
Old news. This story is a month old.
People love old news, man. You should put the echo on it.
I should. All right. I'm gonna put
It's like it got lost in a cave and we're pulling it out.
Old news. Old news. Let's see if I can find like a hall or cave echo and add it on there. Oh man. Danny Trejo, man.
Machete.
Ah man. Can you imagine how ill this had to be on his behalf? He actually is a real life hero at this point. He saved a young special needs child who was trapped in an overturned car in Sylmar. Now, I would like to note that he's already a hero for withstanding the heat in August in Sylmar to begin with. That is something that, not many human beings can do. Well, quite a few, but not comfortably.
Let me jump in real quick.
Yeah.
That said, and I didn't watch the entire video that accompanied this article, but he did the news video and he had no shirt on.
Because it's Sylmar. And I was going to note that
it's Sylmar.
Who?
The crazy thing is, and just so we have this straight, because I do, I believe in full transparency when it comes to Rap Sucks Radio and our small but loyal listenership.
Fair.
Last week, and I'm not far from Sylmar, last week, it was so hot in this room where I'm recording. I was not wearing a shirt for
this is
Don't get excited. It's nothing to see here. Trust me. But it's hot. It's hot. But he was wearing no shirt on TV.
At about 45 minutes into episode 25, all listeners were gone. Oh boy. So I could make the story longer than necessary, but at the end of the day, Danny Trejo and a couple of Good Samaritans saw a car turned over. I believe the grandmother was driving the car. She was able to get out, but the young man was still trapped in his car seat in the back, and the car was turned over. And of course, it's a dangerous situation. You never know what can happen, blah, blah, blah. So Machete and his friends, and a couple of other Good Samaritans, got the child out of the car. But what he did, what I thought was fresh, was this quote. He said he already works with like special needs children, so he kind of knew what to do, right? But he said, and I quote, he was panicked. I said, okay, we have to use our superpowers. So he screamed, superpowers, and we started yelling superpowers, Trail said. I said, do this with the muscles. And he said, muscles. And they basically worked their way through it and helped the young man get out of a very dangerous situation. And I was excited reading that. I was like, that is dope. That is really freaking dope.
It's dope, right?
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. You talk about, man, I fancy myself not the most emotional person in the world, but between watching that Osaka Coco match and the end of that and reading the story, I had to restock on the tissues, man. I'm crying.
Yeah, this was a pretty sad one. Well, I mean, you cried a month ago for this one because it's old news, but yeah. You did.
Every time I read it, man. Every time I read it, shed a tear, bro. Shed a tear, man. The crazy thing is that, and I don't know, I'm not sure why I did this because obviously we know who Danny Trejo is, but I went to his IMDb page. And what I never knew until today is that his IMDb bio begins with the most gangsterous phrase of anybody on IMDb. It says, just hear what I'm saying here. Danny Trejo was born Dan Trejo.
Okay. Switch it up.
Listen, man. He's like the Benjamin Button of Mexican American cinematic legends.
Oh my god, yo! Have you ever like gotten out and helped somebody that's been in an accident before?
Yeah. Well, help is a strong word. Not like him.
I
didn't have to take my shirt off.
You know what's really funny? Not funny per se.
What?
not around this time, I think a month before. I was driving in Glendale, and a dude ran a light and flipped a car over, and I was one of the closest people. And the car was turned over, and we actually climbed in through the back and helped her get out of the car. And it turned out to be like a pregnant woman. It was like the worst case scenario ever moment. Like, oh my God. And that turned out okay. But yeah, I can actually for real sympathize with what he did in a way, because I've actually done that before. I've gotten out of my car and helped somebody out of a car that has been flipped over. I can say I've done that in my life.
You're a good dude, man.
I'm a scared dude. And when the police rolled up, I like waited to give a report. Sorry, y'all, stop snitching. I know, but the police officer kind of did a double take, and he got off his motorcycle and kind of checked the situation and came back over to me and asked me what I saw. And he said, "All right, well, can I take your information down to get in contact with you later if I have any further questions?" And I was like, "Actually, Mr. Officer, no. Nope. Not at all. We're not doing that, buddy."
Anonymous Good Samaritan.
Exactly. Sorry, man. And he looked at me like, "Wow, no." And I'm like, "No, that's all right. I think I've given you enough information, and there are several other people who, are giving their side of the story. I think that we're good here."
Was this in the social media era?
This was, like I said, this was this summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This was like,
so did
June or whatever.
She named the baby the anonymous dreadlock savior to ever do it?
To answer your question, I'm going to shout out the listeners for listening because we're closing out. I'm going to hold thought on your question and say you are listening to Rap Sucks Radio with your fam Track Life and your homeboy Kev Sakota.
That's me.
And to answer your question about what she named the child and whether the child was named after the anonymous dreadlock figure, I know that if the child was named anything like mine, H&M probably stole the name. Thank you guys for listening, y'all. You were rocking with Rap Sucks Radio. We would like to catch y'all. We hope to catch y'all next week, man. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please catch us on RSR Podcast. We post all the articles to everything that we talk about so that you can fact check us and, and find out more information on anything that we talk about, because we ain't scared of y'all ever, and we won't be.
I am.
I'm not at all. Especially my Spit Kicker fam. I gotta shout them out like every week. Y'all this week was less shade than normal from them, but I know they'll actually it wasn't. It wasn't. In the Spit Kicker forums, they had a which EPMD member is Trek, and all of them picked Paris Smith. All of them. All of them.
Is that the diss?
That's it's clearly a diss.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Sure.
I didn't bring it up whenever we talked about that, but did Eric fall out of a window at some point?
I don't know.
And I know there was another prominent hip hop figure that did, and he passed away. So I'm not trying to poke fun, but didn't some weird shit happen with him that like?
That's a question for the listeners.
That's the only reason why it's like
I don't remember. I don't know anything about Eric Sermon past the Just Like Music sample.
This will have no E-double.
Yeah. But
Parish and Redneck.
That's a good question for the listeners. If you made it this far into the show, did something strange happen with Eric Sermon that y'all can remember? Because I don't remember it at all. So there's that.
There you go.
So yeah, thank y'all for listening, man. We'll catch y'all next week. RapSucksRadio.com, RSR Podcast, and Facebook. We'll holler at y'all on the count of three. We say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Peace.
Old news.